still scanning the area as much as I can with the thermals while trying to also juggle my flashlight so that I could get through this terrain. And all of a sudden, it suddenly disappears.
If you love mysteries, you've probably heard of Expedition Bigfoot. The show has kept viewers on edge, but what was discovered inside Russell Acord's van is even more scary. His van wasn't just a vehicle, it became a hidden vault of secrets. But what exactly was inside? Stick around and let's uncover the shocking truth. The mystery that stirred the hidden world. When Expedition Bigfoot launched its Oregon mission, no one imagined it would become the most secretive and unsettling operation in the show's history. The team had faced remote wilderness before, but the Cascades felt different, heavier, older, and strangely guarded, almost as if the forest itself had its own set of rules. The crew arrived fully equipped. They brought advanced drones to scan the sky, high-resolution thermal scopes to spot heat signatures, motion-triggered cameras for nighttime activity, and a carefully designed search grid created with military-grade GPS. Their goal was simple: gather evidence, track movement, and finally understand what might be hiding in this stretch of mountains. At the center of the operation was Russell Acord, a former Marine and survival expert. Russell was known for staying focused, regardless of the conditions. His training made him calm under pressure, sharp in dangerous situations, and impossible to shake. Most missions barely fazed him, but this time, something was off. From the moment the crew stepped onto the forest floor, the atmosphere changed. The woods were unnervingly silent. No birds, no insects, no rustling under the brush. The air felt thick and still, like a warning. Experienced trackers know that when the forest goes quiet, something powerful is moving through it, something the animals don't want to challenge. The core team moved carefully. Bryce Johnson coordinated communications. Dr. Mireya Mayer studied samples and biological clues. Other team members placed seismic sensors around the valley to measure underground movement. A second group walked the perimeter, setting thermal cameras on tree trunks facing deep into the dark woods. Every person had a task. Every tool had a purpose. Even though they worked as a unified group, they often split into smaller field teams when the mission demanded it. One evening, the data streaming into their command center showed a cluster of unusual heat signatures deep in the forest, shapes that didn't match any known animals. The location was remote, hard to reach, and risky, so the crew sent Russell. He took one cameraman and loaded up the van with gear. He didn't hesitate. He rarely did. Russell's style was direct, fast, and strategic. If something was hiding out there, he wanted to be the one to find it. The team remained in constant communication as Russell drove out. He checked in regularly, giving updates on the terrain and the readings he was seeing. Everything was routine until it wasn't. Without warning, his signal cut out. It wasn't a slow fade or static. It was as if someone flipped a switch. 1 second he was speaking, the next, silence. The GPS marker for the van froze. The radio made no sound. The crew tried calling again, switching channels, even boosting the antenna. Nothing. At first, nobody panicked. Russell often went quiet when he needed to concentrate, especially in dangerous areas. But as the minutes stretched on, worry slowly grew. After 3 hours, they knew something was wrong. After the next hour, they launched a full search. They followed the last coordinates transmitted from Russell's van. The trail climbed through narrow paths, winding between cliffs and thick walls of trees. As the search team reached the top of a ridge, they spotted a flash of silver below. The van. It sat half buried in the red dirt, as if it had slid or been pushed. The front tires were sunk deep, the back slightly lifted. The driver's door hung open a few inches, swaying gently. The hazard lights blinked weakly, almost rhythmically, fighting against a dying battery. It looked like someone had left in a rush, but Russell never left gear behind. The air around the vehicle felt strange, heavy, metallic, almost vibrating. It wasn't a sound exactly, it was something you felt under your skin, something that made your chest tighten and your instincts tighten with it. Every member of the search party felt it. Even the ones who didn't believe in unexplained forces stopped a few feet back without meaning to. No footprints were left in the van, no snapped branches, no signs that anyone had been dragged. The dirt around the spot was clean, untouched, except for the tire marks. It looked like Russell stepped out of the van and just disappeared into the air. The cameraman who went with him was gone too. But the real shock came from what the crew found inside the van. The question is, what exactly was sitting in there? Secrets hidden in the van. The search team stood at a distance, staring at Russell Accord's abandoned van. The hazard lights had finally faded, leaving the vehicle dark and still against the red dirt. For a long moment, no one moved or spoke. The mountain air felt heavier than usual, almost like the woods themselves were pressing down on them. When they finally stepped closer, the driver's door creaked open with a soft groan, a sound that seemed to echo far beyond the ridge, almost like a warning. The van wasn't just abandoned, it was frozen in time, a snapshot of Russell's last movements before the forest swallowed him whole. Inside, the air felt dense, almost electric, as if every inch of space had soaked up the tension of the surrounding wilderness. It wasn't the smell of old equipment or damp clothing. It was thicker than that, almost alive. Every shelf, every counter, every corner seemed charged with the forest's secrets, the kind of secrets no one outside this remote world could ever truly understand. The team moved slowly, their flashlights cutting through the dim interior, revealing evidence of months, maybe years, of relentless searching. Near the driver's seat, a small cooler hummed softly, still powered by the van's dying battery. Its contents immediately drew attention. Inside were rows of carefully sealed vials filled with blood. Some were bright, fresh red, as if drawn only hours before Russell disappeared. Others had darkened to brown, showing age and exposure to the elements. Each vial was labeled with precise coordinates, the locations of encounters that hinted at something violent and extraordinary. One label stood out, notes from early DNA tests that matched almost human. Not quite human, but close enough to make the mind reel. Though never officially verified, the possibility alone sent shivers down the crew's spines. Russell wasn't just chasing legends, he was chasing life forms that blurred the line between human and something else entirely. On the counter behind the seats, plaster casts of enormous footprints rested in neat rows. From a distance, they looked vaguely human, but up close, their size was staggering. Each impression was deep, precise, and deliberate, frozen in plaster like a captured moment in time. Russell had documented every ridge and curve, photographed them, and logged their exact coordinates. These weren't random markings. They were evidence of something intelligent and powerful, moving carefully through the forest. Every cast told a story of presence, of movement, of a creature that knew exactly where it walked and how to leave its mark. In one corner, a thermal camera still glowed faintly from its recent use. When the team reviewed its footage, the van was filled with an eerie red and yellow light from the screen. A massive, bipedal figure moved among the trees. Its heat signature contrasted sharply against the cold forest floor. It walked with deliberate caution, disappearing behind trunks only to reappear seconds later, moving as if fully aware of being observed. The crew held their breath as they watched, knowing this might be the closest anyone had come to witnessing proof of a creature long thought myth. Nearby, nighttime video footage from the show's 6th season sat on another monitor. The images were grainy, shadowy, almost dreamlike, but unmistakable. A large humanoid shape glided silently between the trees. Its steps were deliberate, intelligent, and unnervingly quiet. Even though the camera shook, the figure's movements remained fluid and controlled, almost as if it understood it was being watched. Inside the van, this footage felt more than just documentation. It felt like a direct encounter with the unknown. The team also discovered Russell's detailed notes from a remote kill site deep in the forest. Twisted ancient tree structures loomed over the area. Blood pooled across the uneven ground. Broken branches lay scattered, and impressions in the soil suggested a struggle between something massive and its prey. Russell had collected samples, taken plaster casts, and photographed every angle. He wasn't searching for proof alone. He was trying to understand behavior, patterns, intelligence, and territory. Every detail mattered. Every observation was critical. As the crew explored the van further, the surrounding silence pressed in. The forest outside seemed to lean closer, watching. Every item inside, vials, plaster casts, cameras, video footage, combined to form a haunting narrative. It was a story of pursuit, of observation, and of encounters with something unseen but undeniably real. The van itself felt almost alive, a vessel carrying the energy of the forest, the mystery, and the man who dared to enter its depths. Russell's work was more than scientific. It was a hunt, a journey into the unknown where danger, legend, and discovery collided. Through this van, the team and anyone who watched could catch a glimpse of that world. Every footprint, every sample, every fleeting shadow on a screen reminded them of the forest's secrets. It was a place where life existed beyond human comprehension, moving silently, surviving, observing, and perhaps even deciding when to reveal itself. Stepping inside Russell Acord's van was like stepping into a doorway between two worlds. One world was familiar, controlled, and safe. The other was wild, mysterious, and alive with possibilities that could not be explained. For viewers, the van becomes a window into a search that never truly ends, a hunt for something immense, intelligent, and hidden. What was out there in the shadows? What left footprints too big for any human? Could something unseen be watching them? It makes you picture creatures moving quietly, vanishing as fast as they appear. Then Russell Acord and the cameraman returned, bringing even more evidence with them. The team, eager to see for themselves, set out to continue the expedition. As they carefully searched the area, one question hung in the air. What exactly did they find? Journey into the unknown. After discovering Russell's van, the team knew the forest held secrets far beyond what they had imagined. They continued their investigation, focusing on a massive 90,000-acre tract of land in central Oregon. This location had been identified by a computer algorithm as a hotspot for Bigfoot activity, a place where sightings, reports, and patterns all seemed to converge. It was remote, rugged, and untamed. And for the team, it became the stage for some of the most intense and mysterious encounters in the series. The first major discovery came in the form of footprints. They were enormous, deep impressions pressed into the soft earth, larger than any human could leave behind. Each print showed startling detail: the heel, the ball of the foot, and 5 distinct toes. The shapes were clear enough to cast, and the team worked carefully to preserve them. These footprints weren't random. They were deliberate, left by something, with weight, balance, and purpose. Every cast they collected became a critical piece of evidence, a frozen imprint of a creature moving through the wilderness. Near these footprint sites, Dr. Mireya Mayer, a trained primatologist, began to notice something else: what appeared to be bedding or nest sites. Large patches of flattened vegetation formed almost perfect circles. Leaves, branches, and brush were intertwined in a way that suggested construction rather than accident. Dr. Mayer considered these sites compelling. They hinted at behavior similar to what one might expect from an undiscovered primate. It wasn't proof, not yet, but it was another thread in the growing web of evidence that something remarkable lived here. The team's search soon led to something even more mysterious. Researcher Bryce Johnson discovered a massive structure tucked deep in the forest, unlike anything made by humans. It towered in scale and complexity, yet its purpose remained unclear. Every angle seemed intentional, every pattern deliberate. The team couldn't determine whether it was a shelter, a marker, or something else entirely. But in their experience, human hands hadn't built it. It was as if the forest itself had shaped it, or something that belonged to the forest. Adding to the sense of mystery were the vocalizations they recorded in these hotspot areas. The sounds were unlike any known animal: deep, guttural, sometimes high-pitched, echoing through the dense trees. They carried with an eerie resonance. The team captured the recordings on multiple occasions, and each playback left them unsettled. It was almost as if the forest had a voice of its own, watching, communicating, warning. Some researchers even speculated the sounds were a form of infrasound, low-frequency noise that humans can feel more than hear, creating an instinctive unease. Then came the thermal footage. Using state-of-the-art imaging, the team captured a large, upright figure moving silently through the trees. Its shape was unmistakably ape-like, its heat signature bright against the cool night air. Dr. Mayer shared this footage with another primatologist, who reportedly was completely blown away. For scientists trained to remain skeptical, even this video carried undeniable intrigue. The creature moved with intention, blending speed and caution, never hurrying, always aware. Every frame told the team they were looking at something extraordinary. Even the most grounded members of the team experienced strange encounters. Even Russell Acord reported sensing something large moving close by during a night stakeout. He described a feeling of being brushed by a massive animal and noticed an intense, strange odor in the air, powerful and musky, almost like a wild predator. He never saw the creature clearly, but the impression was vivid. The forest had brushed against him directly, and the sensation stayed long after the moment passed. The strange experiences didn't end there. One of the researchers, known as RPG, began suffering severe headaches during the expedition. At first, the pain was dismissed as fatigue, but it worsened to the point of requiring a hospital visit. These symptoms aligned with reports from eyewitnesses in other Bigfoot encounters who described disorientation, pressure, and pain consistent with exposure to infrasound, a sound frequency below the range of human hearing that can affect the body physically. It was another sign that whatever existed in these forests might use subtle forces beyond human perception. Together, these findings formed a haunting variety. Massive footprints that suggested an intelligent, powerful being. Nesting sites that hinted at unknown behavior, structures that defied human logic, strange vocalizations and thermal evidence confirming movement in the night, physical sensations of unseen presence combined with inexplicable health effects. Each piece alone was remarkable, but together they painted a picture that was almost impossible to ignore. The forest was alive with something hidden, something aware, and something that had eluded humans for generations. As the team continued, every step into the Oregon wilderness became a careful dance between curiosity and caution. Each clue deepened the mystery, showing that this wasn't just a hunt for a myth, but an exploration into a world far older and stranger than most of us ever imagined. In the end, the expedition left more questions than answers. Still, with every footprint, every shadow, every sound in the dark, the team gave viewers a peek into a world few have dared to explore. The forests of Oregon, wide and quiet, held secrets beyond ordinary understanding. Somewhere in that silence, something was moving, watching, surviving. But what really sparked the creation of Expedition Bigfoot? Which encounters inspired the team to search? And how did the show get started in the first place? Chasing legends, Expedition Bigfoot didn't start like most shows about mysterious creatures. Instead of chasing random tips or eyewitness stories, this series took a sharper, more calculated approach. Using a specially designed algorithm, the producers combed through 50 years of Bigfoot reports to find the spots where sightings clustered the most. The result was a focused search, a calculated journey into the heart of the wilderness, rather than a wandering trek into the unknown. This strategy also set the show apart from earlier programs, like Finding Bigfoot, which relied heavily on personal encounters and anecdotal evidence. Expedition Bigfoot was built around technology, precision, and science. The pilot episode, The Search Begins, sent the team into the dense, shadowy forests of Central Oregon, guided by data points rather than hunches. High-tech gear, thermal cameras, and motion sensors became tools in a mission that promised to uncover something extraordinary, or at least push the boundaries of what we believe is possible. The show's marketing emphasized this difference, offering viewers a front-row seat to a hunt that blended cutting-edge science with age-old mystery. Yet while the series leaned on technology, the real drive came from centuries of legend. Bigfoot has captured imaginations for generations, and countless encounters have fueled fascination. The 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film famously captured what appeared to be a female Bigfoot in California. In 1924, prospectors at Ape Canyon near Mount St. Helens reported being pelted with rocks by ape men, a story that still chills the spine of anyone who hears it. Even the 1958 Ray Wallace footprint sparked a media frenzy, cementing the name Bigfoot in popular culture. Hoax or not, these tales made the legend unforgettable, and the team drew inspiration from every story, real or imagined. For the expedition team, legend met science in thrilling ways. Primatologist Dr. Maria Mayer brought a sharp scientific eye, searching for signs of an undiscovered primate species. On the trail, she analyzed hair, footprints, and other evidence with meticulous care. In the forests of Oregon, the team stumbled upon what appeared to be nesting sites, carefully collecting DNA samples in hopes of proving something extraordinary. Strange whistles, glowing eyes in the darkness, and fleeting shadows in the treetops reminded them that the forest was alive with mystery. Even the human body reacted to these encounters. One team member fell ill after an expedition, suffering headaches that some believe were caused by infrasound, a low-frequency hum thought by some researchers to be a tool Bigfoot might use to protect its territory. Whether coincidence or evidence of something more, it left the team both unnerved and determined. Ultimately, Expedition Bigfoot is a journey where science meets legend. Every footprint, every whisper of movement in the trees, and every piece of captured evidence pulls viewers deeper into a world that teeters between the known and the unknown. Oregon's forests stretch endlessly, deep and quiet. Yet to the team, every shadow pulses with potential, leaving signs that push the limits of what we believe about the wild and the secrets it may still hold. And until it finally comes into view, what's your take on the show? Share your thoughts in the comments below.